To take full advantage of the camera, especially if we want to get that cinematic look, we need to be able to set all the custom values in manual mode. Now before we get into manual mode, I want to go over a few things. All movies and films that you've ever seen are shot at 24 frames per second. This is the Hollywood standard. The other rule you should follow is the 180-degree shutter rule. This states that whatever frame rate you shoot at, the shutter should be twice the value. So for 24 frames per second, our shutter should be 1/48, or as close to that value as you can get. A lot of cameras only allow you to go to a shutter speed of 1/50th. So that's close enough and that'll work fine. Or if you shoot at 60 frames per second, it should be 120th of a shutter speed. The reason for this is to get the correct motion blur for our shots. So here's a shot of a fan that was shot at 24 frames per second and the correct shutter speed, which is 1/50. But you'll notice that when I stop the image, it has the correct blurriness to it. Now looking at this next scene, it's the same fan, but we shot it with 24 frames per second, but a much higher shutter speed of 192. So you can see it looks more jittery or staccato looking. And if I pause the video, you can see it doesn't have anywhere near as much of the motion blur. So this is why when you have a moving image, the correct shutter speed, if you want it to look cinematic, is that twice times the frame rate that you shoot it at. The higher the shutter speed, this will create less motion blur, and then it makes things look more jittery or staccato looking. If you have a lot of things moving in your scene, and if the shutter speed isn't right to the frame rate, then it looks strange. It looks strange to us as our eyes and brain are accustomed to seeing natural motion blur when things move. If you have a scene with a lot of movement and you want it to look cinematic, then shoot at 24 frames per second or 25 if you're in a PAL region. Then make sure your shutter speed is twice that value. Television shows and news channels normally shoot at 30 frames per second, and that's why they look a little bit different. They have a little bit more of a sharp look. To enter manual mode, we need to go to Pro mode. So swipe down from the top of the camera screen, you'll see the cogwheel. From the cogwheel, swipe left until you see Pro, then click on Pro and enable Pro mode. Click the function button then to go back to the camera screen. Click on the yellow Pro text at the top of the screen. Click on exposure on the top left, then click M for the manual control. This will allow you to be able to change your shutter speed on the left and your max ISO on the right. Now the problem comes when we're filming in bright areas. If we have 24 frames per second, our ISO we want as low as possible at 100, and according to what I just said, we need a shutter speed of 1/48 or 1/50. With that low shutter speed, it'll actually let in a lot of light, and the image will be blown out or overexposed. With the Pocket, we have a fixed aperture, so we can't change that. We need the ISO as low as possible, so we shouldn't change that, otherwise we'll get noise and grain. So what can we do? Well, our only other option is to increase our shutter speed, which will make the exposure correct. But by doing this, we need to adjust the shutter to something like, in this case, 1/1250. This increase makes our shutter speed faster, letting in less light. So the image will look exposed correctly, but we've broken the shutter 180-degree rule. So can we break the rule? Sure, you can break the rule, especially if you're shooting a landscape scene or a scene where there isn't anything moving in it. If there's nothing really moving, then there's no motion blur noticed. However, if you have a scene where there's lots of stuff moving around, such as people or cars or animals, then we should stick to the rule of the shutter being twice the value of the frame rate. So if we can't do this, what can we do? Well, this is where an ND filter comes in handy. ND filters are like sunglasses for your camera lens. So if we set our scene back to the original settings of 24 frames per second and a shutter of 1/50, which allows us to have the 180-degree shutter rules for motion blur, we can attach an ND filter to the lens. Here we attach an ND filter, which is ND32, which will darken the amount of light coming in, but allows us to set all the parameters we need to follow that 180-degree shutter rule and keep motion blur where it will look natural and cinematic, and our exposure will be correct. If you don't understand ND filters, check out our training course on ND filters and how they work. ND filters come in variant shades like ND8, 16, 32, 64, etc. They also come in a variable ND that you can rotate, and it goes from light to dark, for example. You can use the EV meter to give you an indication if the ND filter is dark enough. Remember, the EV is trying to get a value to 0 when the camera thinks it's exposed correctly. Then finally set your white balance to manual, and you should be set to film. Another thing you can do is set D-Cine-like if you plan to color grade your footage in post. Or leave it in normal mode if you're happy with the straight out of camera look. Using the Mimo app is another great way to see where you are, and you can connect your phone to the Pocket either through the phone connector, or if you have a wireless do-it-all handle, you can connect remotely. Either way, you can use the histogram to see where your image is and see if it's exposed correctly. And you have a much bigger screen to work with. Click on the 3 dots on the bottom left. Toggle Pro Mode on. If you're going to shoot in D-Cine-like, go to where it says color and change it from normal to D-Cine-like here. And then tap anywhere on the screen to close this menu. Click the camera icon on the left. Click M for manual. If you were shooting at 60 frames per second, you'd want your shutter to be at 1/120. Let's change our shutter speed to 1/50 as we're shooting at 24 frames per second. So we're outside on a bright day, so we want our ISO to be as low as possible. So let's change that to max 100. Now we can see that our exposure is too bright and blown out. Our EV value is +3, and our histogram is over to the right. So to get this exposed correctly, we need to attach an ND filter. Let's attach an ND filter to bring the histogram towards the center and bring our EV value down closer to 0. Remember, the histogram should be basically in the center of the grid. If it's all the way to the left, it's too dark. And if it's all the way to the right, it's way too bright. Don't be too precise though, if your histogram or EV value is slightly positive or negative. Just make sure it's not too far from 0 in the EV, or the histogram is way over to the left or the right. Make sure it's in the center, basically. Now click the 3 dots in the bottom left corner. Click on white balance, change it from auto. If it's not on auto, make sure if you're in manual, go to auto first, then back to manual, and then select custom to see the Kelvin value. Select OK, and this will manually set the Kelvin value so it won't vary as you change or go from scene to scene. Remember to change your settings if you're moving from a completely different environment, but keep these settings if your shots are similar and the lighting is the same.